Morning, everyone. It's Tuesday. Welcome to Embody Your True Essence with me, Ikue. It's October 15, 2024. Today is a 22, step 22 into step 23 day. So it's Aquarius. I belong, I innovate too. I think. It's a very powerful day. But how you guys feeling today? I had a really emotional day yesterday, to say the least. uh, Let that tears hold on, and I just let that emotions flow, just like what I preach. I dance with my emotions and I felt good, and then I finished my day with I love myself. I belong, I matter, and I feel better today. How you guys feeling? So I decided to do it outside. It's not completely clear sky, it's cloudy, but it's still nice. It's actually very refreshing for me to talk outside, so I am outside. Hope you guys feeling better. Lots of wine, and I think it's Libra season. Libra is all about relationships, so it's kind of like we're just cleaning, like we're in like it's like washing machine where all of our relationship with ourselves, with our people, like in daily life, daily activities, and also relationship with the world. We're in the third decade. Hi, Glenda. Good morning. So if you're feeling like really, we've been shaken up, right? Basically, our platform is like the earth is shaking, earth is moving, and we are basically, as we are being shaken up like this, right? We have to let go of things that are basically lower frequency, because we're all raising our frequency. It's not it's not so much about letting go of the relationship per se. It's more about letting go of that toxic trait of yourself that attached to that particular trait of the person, you know what I mean? Or any relationship. It's all up to us, and anything is possible. And my mind, emotions like going around. There are thoughts, right? And that thought comes with emotions, and then with that we come up with a narrative, right? We come up with a story, this or that. And I was meditating yesterday. It's like, is this from my heart, is this from my mind? And then when you kind of overthink yourself, then you can't really differentiate two voices anymore. Same here. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, good morning, everyone. So I think it's at the end of it, it's just like calming ourselves down, right? Like no big deal. And that's why I made the last post yesterday. It's just like we just have to breathe. We just have to breathe, stay present, know that everything is happening for us, right? So that being said, I would like to start with reading the energy of the day. So today is a quantum shift day, and for people watching. So the 4 is the number. Be on the lookout for surprises and unexpected events today. Therefore, I belong. It's a ruling state of awareness, putting the law of attraction in official action. So whenever you see 4, think of I belong, law of attraction, I innovate. We're going to age of Aquarius, where innovations and law of attraction rule the era, basically. So the energy of spiritual attraction is a ruling principle, which is based on what your heart truly desires. The only challenge is that you may not be aware of what your heart truly desires, and so therefore may be shocked at what arrives or leaves your energy. So that's really funny, because I was just thinking about when I started to really explore one topic or a couple topics, and I came to a point where it's like, is this my mind talking, or is this my heart speaking, right? And sometimes it's very hard to tell. Sometimes even though I think that, oh, this is my heart desire, this is my heart talking, but then sometimes like I find myself, my mind is trying to talk my heart out of it, you know what I mean? Like try to convince. It's like mind is in disguise and pretend like a heart desire, you know what I'm talking about. So I think it's very important to just be an observer more when you get super confused, right? And I think in general, it's good to be an observer in general. In general. So, yeah, so today the only challenge is that you may not be aware of what your heart truly desires, and so therefore may be shocked at what arrives or leaves your energy. The energy of net 4 I belong can feel alien, electric, weird, or uncomfortable. But I feel like that every day, to be honest. But I know I have Aquarius in moon, so maybe that. It sometimes will feel as if lightning is about to strike. A sense of unfamiliarity mixed with anticipation is often the experience. So the mixture of both, right? You anticipate something should happen, but then it's like expect the unexpected, that type of energy. Some people describe the energy like the suspense in a mystery movie. You can sense something is about to happen, but are on the edge of your seat, imagining what it could be. Step 22 involves your feelings. Step 2, bouncing off of other feelings. Step 2. These can be two sets of feelings you hold privately, or your feelings bouncing off someone else's feeling. When the two sets of emotions collide, the result is one or both of the feelings transform into something else. The result is that one or both parties' feelings change in the end to become something else. So feelings, collide and clash and create chemistry. Are we creating something new? So you will be shifting. Okay. So for instance, you may feel really excited about a movie coming out, but then talk to someone who saw it that did not like it. I know people talking about Joker too. I heard it's such a bad movie, but I don't know, right? So let's say I'm very excited about watching a Joker movie too, and then talk to someone who saw it that did not like it. Running into that person changes your feelings about seeing the movie. Yeah, it totally did. The person may also feel better about the film after talking to you. Right. So this person who watched the Joker too, talking about how bad the movie was, but as he was talking about that movie, then he's releasing that emotion, so he's feeling maybe better about the movie after talking to you. Both parties walk away from the encounter feeling different about the movie. Oh, that's very interesting. You'll be shifting how you feel about your future or your relationship to someone or some future event. It's important to approach the day feeling grounded and true to yourself. If you have negative feelings, you will attract negative events or people. From a clean emotional perspective, observe how things make you feel as your guidance today. So I always thought that, because of the sentences like this, it says, it's important to approach the day. If you have negative feelings, you will attract negative events or people. I think at this point, everybody knows that. But the problem is, okay, then how can maintain the positive thoughts, right? And I think for the longest time, I judge myself for holding all these negative emotions. And it's like, well, I shouldn't feel this way. Every time I feel, I attract that. And so that's the difficult part, because by law of attraction, whatever you feel, you attract. At the same time, we sometimes we desire something, but then your core belief is something else, and that's what you attract, right? The core belief about who you are. I think there's a lot of power in when you set the intention. Whatever I'm going through throughout the day, like emotions are emotions are very unstable, right? Like energy comes and goes and vibrate and through our body, and it's like, oh, I perceive this as an anger, or I perceive this as a sadness. It just literally come and go in that energy of ash, like planets helping us release what no longer serves us. So that's why we are like every day going like this. What's the energy of the day? What's happening? But this is where we trust the process, right? Like we are radically safe and protected. And I talk about the powerful affirmations. I think it's we're all learning to come back to yourself, like who we really are. We are loved. I am lovable. I love myself. I value myself. I matter. I matter. I'm like keep telling myself this word. I matter. Also, I belong. And then it's just kind of like the word vibrating out through my body, and I can feel that these words like I matter, I belong, it gives me a inner peace. But I'm also at the same time, and I feel like it's not resonating all parts of myself because I practiced the opposite way for a very long time. So, let's say I'm confident. I don't have a lot of resistance when I use this word. Maybe I need to really use that confidence when I try to drive a car. That's the area that I'm have little bit of anxiety with. But when you address something like I'm this, I'm that, scan your body, right? Scan your body and see if this resonate with the whole part of yourself. It's agreed. It's like yes, 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 because we have a brain cells, but we have cells all over the body, and it has consciousness, right? So as we scan our body, it's like, okay, does this statement embody? It's been embodied in my body. I belong. I belong. And I feel like I need a little bit more time and the integration to get that really sink in. I belong. I matter. I'm lovable. Yeah. Why do we all need to affirm to our bodies every day? Yeah, well, I realized that I see healers, right, on social media. And then some look great, some use filters. I'm using filters because I like the saturation of this filter, and it makes me look good. And then also it says juicy. But I think you can all be like, we're all healers, we all have skills, but I think the body part is so important. Like if you can just like you can work on your consciousness, but then you can't ignore your body, because as long as you live on earth, we are in this vehicle. You can live all you want, right? But then this is where we eat, and then we poop, and we digest, and this is how we experience this world with our body. So this is our sacred temple, obviously, and it's very important to take care of that. But if mind consciousness, like the mind, it says something like it's like I'm lovable, all of this, but if your body doesn't feel, because the body has been carrying all this words, spells, emotions from many years, then we need to start pouring good water into our body, right? To pouring good thoughts, pouring good feeling thoughts. Yeah. So I matter. You matter. We matter. In each of your stories, explore how you feel about the situation, feel into your options, and observe how feelings shift or change for you. Be prepared to face unexpected feelings coming from yourself or others. Rise to the challenge. Respond to your feelings according to the level your behavior belongs on. Who do you belong? Be in the moment. Your long-term plans for intellectual project, legal development, or significant communication may undergo a breakdown or unexpected challenges today. Use the feelings behind the words to steer through the challenges. Today's goal is to ground and connect to your feelings and heart. Then feel where you belong in the future. Sometimes an event out of your control occurs during step 22 days, forcing an entirely new perspective or point of view about the future. This event can be shocking and unexpected, such as a hurricane or stock market crash. These are extreme examples, but they represent phenomenon that is out of your sphere of control. In cases like these, how you respond to the event is your point of power. Enjoy the view. I belong in blissful relationships. Mm. So yeah. So expect the unexpected. Today is a day where lots of unexpected things could happen, and you find yourself maybe being triggered, but it's always the power is in how you respond to things. So when something happens, there's an initial reaction, right? It's like I really want to like respond with the same type of energy. When somebody is angry and they say something to me, it's like, oh, okay, wait a minute. But then if you are a new person creating a new story, a new timeline, my new me would respond, maybe first of all just stop and pause, and then, okay, what is this person saying to this? If it's true for me, right? Heart is the boss. We're learning to listen to heart. Is this true for me? Does it make me feel good? Is this person just saying that from their own experience? The answer is absolutely yes. That's the only thing that they can say, right? They're like, they're not really channeling most of the time. You can take it as an inspiration, but you always have power to filter out information and take what you resonate with, and take and throw away what you don't. I think that is important, because even when you are hearing some important message for someone else that you trust, but then you always need to filter it out. I didn't really know about this before. I didn't really think about this. It's like when the sensei says something, you know, when I'm raised in Japan, when the leader says something, yes is and yes, you know, put someone on the pedestal was a thing. But I think it's really about filtering information, take what resonate with. And then when, you know, when people come to my class, and I say this, like, there's no right or wrong, take what resonate with, and you know, do what you can, and you don't have to look like me, and you just do whatever you feel. And but we are all learning how to feel our body, how to tap into our body, scan our body. How do you feel in this moment? If you hear something, how do you feel this in this moment, right? When you hear what I say, how do you feel, right? So it's all about resonance and the frequency, because what you don't have will never resonate and match with what I have if we are not in the same matching frequency. So it's all about the sound and the frequency. It's all coming, and then we're tuning, so it becomes more correct as we are going through this. And then later on, step of the day, we're moving to step 23. That's a Gemini energy. So as we innovate and then kind of just I expect the unexpected. In the midday, we're going to move into step 23, and that's the vision. Two is feeling. So use your feelings, and then you think, and then you confirm, right? So sorry. So you use your feelings, and you believe, and that's the Sagittarius energy, and that's the 5. That's the Gemini energy. I think. So I feel, I think, and then I feel, I believe. That's why I think, right? Sometimes the thought comes, then emotions trigger. The emotion gets triggered. Sometimes I feel like there's like the energies here, and then we interpret the energy with our perception, and the thought comes. So I feel like it's both are true. Emotions first, and thought comes, or thought comes and emotion comes, right? But then after that, we have power. You feel it in the sensation of your body. It's like, it's true for me, right? And I think in this Libra season, we are really learning about our relationship with ourselves. And I was listening to one of the pep talk of Sirius Joy about Libra. Being a Libra, I'm a Libra. I think Libra always has been very lenient, very flexible. And then, but something happens. The Libra, opposite sign of Libra is Aries. Aries is not very flexible. It's like push through things, like, this is what I want. So they said that Libras are becoming more like Aries. It's like, you know, at some point realize that, okay, I've been very lenient and flexible, but this is not something that I can accommodate with. I gotta make a decision, or you change the way you interact with me. And I think that's really happening. I think it's for all signs. That's why, new moon, solar eclipse, we have experienced a big shift in relationships, right? So everyone is sort of standing up, like when they felt like they were exploited, for example, or their voices were not heard. And then we're going to do everything we can to fix that part of ourselves, to find ourselves again. And then when we know who we are, then we can sort of rekindle the relationship, or create a new relationship with a new person, or the same person but on a new different level. So, and I think all start with us. I think it's there's a lot of power to move forward. There's nothing but move forward, right? It's yeah. Do you guys feel anywhere in your body that you're going through like your diagnosis or tension, pain? I've been feeling my tailbone. When I'm like, yeah, it's like tailbone. I think there's a lot of cords with people, attachment, also lots of like, grounding, but also if you have pain in your tailbone, I think it's a lot to do with fear, right? And then things are coming up. I definitely have a lot of tension. Like when I touch tailbones, it's like there's a lot of tension there. And then yesterday, what I started to do was literally grab my butt and then opening the fascia around the tailbone. If you guys ever want to try, it's actually super transformative. Like I work with body, I do private sessions, and I teach. And I noticed that for me, when my clients is experiencing release, I feel a lot around my heart, like the rib cage, like woo, and also from my belly. Like those are the area that I feel. And then as I was working around my butt and my tailbone, I could feel the release like coming up. I feel my heart, and then like I literally feel in my hands, and it's like whoa. There's a lot of tension there. There's a lot of stagnant energy here. Pain, lower ribs, right side. Yeah. So that's kidney, that's the lungs. I feel like, also maybe some resentment, gallbladder, sadness, grief, resentment. Like those are like, the could be the emotions. But you can do a lot of things. I'm just holding the microphone right now, but you can hug yourself and move around. So open up that the shoulder blades. Also, you can literally place your hands and then just move around. There's so many things you can do. Overall stiffness. Yeah. You know, we tend to think when we are so busy, and then we're just like, oh, I just have stiffness on my shoulders or neck. And it's just like, you just know, you just accept it. I think healing is start with accepting. So you got that step one right, but then it's like, what are you going to do about it, right? So I think it's like, just pay attention. Even like place your hands like, hello pain, hello stiffness, hello tension. What do you want me to see? Listening to your body and be the best friends of our body is so important. Yeah. Yeah, do you guys have anywhere that you're working through? I just wanted to read this post that I found yesterday, and I thought that was very, very interesting. You can go here just a second. So talking about how life happens for us, right? And I came across this woman who used to come to my class a couple times when she's basically a nomad, digital nomad, and she does microdose mushrooms, and so she took my class a couple times, and she posted this, and it's basically about yeah, you can't really see. If you guys are interested, I can send it to you. But she posted this post about 4 levels of consciousness, and it's kind of like stepping up. The first phase is victim consciousness. life happens to you. So that's that. I think we all know that. We're all, coming out of that, right? This victim consciousness is characterized by a sense of powerlessness. You feel controlled by external forces, view of self as victim of some circumstance, a tendency to blame others or external situation for one's problem. Maybe some area we're good at not playing victims, but maybe some area we still have that. But I have that. I'm working through it. But we know that victim consciousness won't help with our healing. I think we can all agree with that. So now we're moving from victim consciousness to manifestor consciousness. So manifestor consciousness is life happens by you. Life happens by you. And life happens by you is characterized by sense of empowerment. You begin to realize that you have the power to influence your reality. You yourself as active creator, a tendency to make things happen, change your relationship with external circumstances. So this is like, I think a lot of law of attraction, even Tony Robbins, and like, masculine type of energy. Like, we create our own life. Let's do this. Let's put a lot of positive thoughts and coming up with vision board, and let's make stuff happen because we are deserving. We're worthy of all of these dreams, and that's good. And that's called manifestor consciousness. That's what she said. Life happens by you. And then when you step, we're becoming more like a monk, right? Guru. So then it goes to the next one is a channel consciousness. Life happens through you. This is where surrender comes, right? You notice that there's no much things to control. So there's characterized by a sense of surrender. You feel like a conduit for higher purpose. You realize that by tuning in and letting go, life flows more easily. If you surrender and flow, you're able to accomplish things beyond what you thought possible. You're able to accomplish things beyond what you thought possible. I feel like collectively we're going through this. Like, there are parts of us that will play victim. There are parts of us that like really set the intention and show up and then do things. But I think at the same time, we're in this Asian era where there's so many things that we cannot control. Then when we cannot control, what we do? We don't control it anymore. We let go of the control and surrender and let the life just, letting go. And when you let go, life flows more easily and then you find inner peace. And I think that's beautiful too, right? So that's the third step she brought. Now, the last step is being the consciousness. So you actually become like God, right? So like when you describe tree of life, we came from the same source, but you are not the tree, but you're the leaf, right? You're the leaf, and everyone else is the leaf. You get to have your own consciousness. You get to have your own desire. You get to have your preferences. If you don't like somebody, you don't have to try so hard to like everybody. You know what I mean? Like that's that, like the individual preferences. But if you just go into more deep into consciousness, there's a time that is like, enlightenment where, wow, I'm connected to everything. Everything is me. You know what I mean? So that's a consciousness. Then you see life happens as you. A sense of oneness. You don't see yourself as separate from life, but as an integral part of it. There's no need to control or influence because you understand that everything is already in harmony. That's a hard place. that's a God, that's playing God. That's an expansion. But I don't even think we need to be there. You know what I mean? Like we all need. It's okay with the tree of life where come from the same source, but we're all individually different. We came here to have fun, So then you should be able to create the abundance we want to create. It's not like, oh, can you guys hear me? Universe should be able to provide the abundance that you could spend in like more than necessary. You know what I mean? Like, as I think it's all about giving ourselves permission to do that. So yeah, you get to choose victim consciousness or manifestor consciousness. Life happens by you, or channel consciousness. Life happens through you, or really become God. Life happens as you. I feel like I want to live between these two, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 2 or 3. Like life happens by you. You move with a powerful intention, but then you know that sometimes you need to surrender, and that humble us, right? In between both, right? So that's very interesting. Holding some anger and anxiety inside work, need to speak to it. Yeah, you can try this. I have a voice, I speak up. I have a voice, I speak up. Yeah. Hello, anger. Thank you for being here. Show me what I need to see, right? Sometimes communication is very important. There's so many perspectives, and sometimes you're just angry about something that no one's is intend to do. Like because of the perception that we have, we felt a certain way, and before we judge people, we judge situation. I think it's very important to stay neutral, because if we feel hurt, that's when our inner child gets mad. It's like, I'm not hurt, I'm not seeing all of that. But I don't know your situation, so I can't speak for you. But here comes, like, you can definitely use your discernment, right? um, does this happen to seasoned healer as well? Pain, anger, resentment, anxiety. Yeah. you know um, I work with body. I've done lots of healing session too. In this journey, working with people with Human Garage, I learned that I think as we raise your consciousness, we see more things. We see people's flaws, but you don't necessarily see your own flaws. You think you're the God. But I think every time you work with people who are going through a particular issue, and then when you judge people where they are, judgment, and you are judging yourself, because we are one, we're all connected. When you judge others, that means you judge yourself. So every time you judge as healer, you actually take on someone's karma into your body and help them heal. Does it make sense? So I think what differentiate healers, let's say amateur healers, from advanced healers know that you don't heal people, and every time you help them heal, and then healing happens within them. That's one thing, that you don't take on the karma. At the same time, you facilitate the healing, and whatever comes up in your body is healing something in you. So you don't take on somebody's energy, you use it as a trigger of this diagnosis of this person, and then it's something it trigger in you, is that you're just helping it to heal yourself. If I think it's very important. I see some people, suddenly, they always have this healing power to heal other people, but then the judgment and the fear of taking on those energy into your body create the judgment and create the dis-ease in their body. So every time you catch yourself like judging other people, stop yourself. It's like, no one's perfect, right? I am also learning to be kind and forgiving for other people, and just, gently release. And then here comes the power of fascia maneuvers. I think it's when you do fascia maneuvers, you can kind of, release that part, the residual energy that you felt from the session. So yeah, I really believe in that. That's how, yeah. So it's very important when you work with people or counseling, you know, or even like hairstylists, we're constantly exchanging energy, right? So to really be aware of what you're hearing and what you're taking in, use your discernment. Is this true for me? It is something that I need to take into my body and then digest and learn something from it, right? That's what it is. Or like it's not me. I've worked through this, and you know, but at the end of it, it's like a truck like. So whatever comes in you is it comes out you because something inside you already have that, and even though you're working through that, but it's coming up to you. That means, you know, universe will challenge you until you don't get triggered anymore, right? This is how you know when you heal yourself. So let's I picked the beautiful cards. Woo! Remove the limiting labels you're wearing. So I tapped 22 times today. Yeah, this is the energy, and then pick a card for everybody. And I love this card. It's like mermaid. Remove the limiting labels you're wearing. Look beyond the labels and remember how brilliantly beautiful you are. Along the way, we picked up toxic belief about ourselves. Maybe you've been told you weren't smart enough, lovable enough, pretty enough, or whatever enough. Whether you've accepted others' opinion as truth or you've created the mask that hides your authentic self, it's time to remove the limiting labels you're wearing and let your light shine. I spend most of my time repeating the phrase, I'm fat, in my head, a label picked up from early childhood. After decades of being overweight, I decided enough was enough and it was time to peel back the layer of pain I had accumulated from this label. Challenge. Anytime you hear yourself think something negative, say, cancel, and rephrase it into something positive and loving about yourself. I chose the mantra, I'm beautiful. If you pull this card, it's time to replace the negative thoughts you have about yourself with more uplifting beliefs. What limited labels are you currently wearing? Have the courage to take off the mask and shine your bright, brilliant light. Beneath the labels, your true essence of love, joy, grace, beauty, and peacefulness reside. I remove the limited labels and allow my authentic light to shine. Yes. You know, one thing I learned from the program that I'm taking, 21 Cellular Memory Reset, there is this description of this, I think, researcher says that 3-to-1 ratio. So when you think of negative emotions, you can override with a positive belief to flip the narrative. In order to do so, you can't go 50-50. So 1-to-3 ratio. So when the negative thought is 1, you have to do 3 times the positive words to flip the narrative. So let's say it's like, oh, I'm unlovable. Let's say you felt that this way, I'm lovable. Then it's like, no, I'm beautiful, everybody likes me, and I am so lovable. I do so many lovely things for myself. You know, just keep adding that listing and overcome this 1-3 ratio, if that makes sense. And I'm going to practice that. It's okay to feel negative emotions, right? But I know that whatever I'm going through, I'm always connected to everything. I belong, I matter. I have always been judgmental. My weakest point means I'm always judging myself. This is clarity today. Yeah, yeah. Well, I was always like that too, judgmental. Yeah. Well, you judge because your standard is so high. In a way, it's good. I came, you know, I was born and raised in Japan. Kaizen, improvement, and quality is number one priority. So growing up, you know, getting good grades and studying hard, I think we naturally, so noisy. We naturally learn to, oh my goodness, we naturally learn to, okay, that's not good. I'm gonna go inside. Let's see. That's really loud. So naturally, I learned to be, let's say, judgmental. I'm walking. Naturally, I learned to be noticed a bad, like the bad point, kaizen. But I learned that that's really hard. Yes, I think it's okay to notice, but just be kind to ourselves. I hope you can still hear me. Lots of things happen when you live in the city. Yeah. You guys have any questions before we go? I think the energy was really heavy yesterday, but I feel a little lighter today, so that's a good thing. I think we're all learning to flow as usual to the powerful state. The full moon is coming up, right? Race in India, same here. Yeah, yeah. Asians are very stoic, so disciplined, right? And I got us where we are, but we learn to be kind to ourselves, and we're all, you know, like wherever living in this time and age, we're all learning to basically reverse the karmic patterns that were passed down through our ancestors, and ancestor passed down our good patterns and not so good patterns. But we'll show a lot of gratitude to ourselves. Let's rub our hands, and then let's tap into our energy just to finish the live today. I think it's very important to start the day, or if you are listening to middle of the day, that's okay too. It's very important to know your energy, where you are, scan your body, so that when you show up and interact with people, you know what's true for you and what's not true for you. Ooh, let the energy go around and move your fascia. Yes, love ourselves more. Ooh. Let's place your right hand on your temple, left hand on the back, and squeeze your head like a marshmallow. And once you're ready, twist the skin right side forward and left side backwards. And breathe. Pain is not a bad thing, right? But pain is scary because it's like, oh, it's like it doesn't feel good. Am I going to hurt myself? And then obviously, when our body doesn't feel safe, musculoskeletal system kicks in. So we're just moving muscles and bones, but we want to stay in our fascia. We want to stay in our fascia, flow and surrender, right? Ooh, flow and surrender. I think we try so hard to create the structure, and a structure for me, and it's a grid and a line, that's a masculine type of energy, and that structure itself is changing and shifting. And I think in moving forward with the new world, we need to really tapping into a feminine energy, which is, I made a post about it, but it's basically just surrender, flow, and nourishing and trusting and allowing. So, instead of chasing, it's just like calling in type of power. So let's really embody that. So that whatever we desire, notice that, it's like, oh, it's already here. Whatever we, acknowledge will show up in this life. And I think that's very true. If you see some reality that you don't prefer, you always know that, okay, whatever I acknowledge, whatever who I am show up in the world. I remember that yesterday I was using a mini saw to trim a tree that was hard on my body. It is why I feel a little pain. I forgot. That's good. Yeah, it's also you decided to use a mini saw, and that's also part of it, right? Part of the energy, like something about you that not trigger you, but guided you to do that action, and as a result, you're feeling the pain. So whether that's a physical pain or like because of that, physical pain, emotional pain, it's at the end of it, it's the same emotion, same emotion. You're calling into those experiences to feel that pain, feel the emotion, so that we can learn something from it. So if you feel the pain, it's like keep moving, keep flowing. Also, I noticed that as I'm moving my fascia, where the tightness is, that's where we get muscle sore. Muscle actually doesn't get sore. Fascia gets tight and restrict the movement. So you like those events help us identify where the tightness of the fascia as well. I'm excited to start doing more online fascia. I keep selling that, but I needed some time to integrate. But it's coming, so I'm very excited to introduce this. It's not just the Instagram live. It's not just the in-person fascia maneuvers class. I would like to start some Zoom fascia maneuvers classes for people to go dive deeper into moving fascia and also facelift. All of this coming up. So yeah. Anyways, today is a step 20 day, innovative law of attraction day. Expect the unexpected. Expect the unexpected. Yes. Know your center, inner peace, surrender. When every time you get triggered, just surrender. Every time you get triggers, just surrender and know that everything is possible. And we are opening ourselves up to infinite possibilities as usual. Have a great day. Here in Southern Asia, most of our deities, idols are made in fascia movement, twist, shall share on PM. So wonderful. Yeah, yeah, I agree. Twist movement is the power. That's where we call in, right? We get to play this type of energy. I feel like when you go clockwise, that's more masculine for me. You know, like it's like when you tap water, when you turn the tab, when you go clockwise, counterclockwise, that's when the water comes. And when you're tightening and you go to clockwise, I feel that same in my body. If I want to tighten like structure, I go to the right. And then if you want to loosen it up, you unwind yourself in the clockwise, counterclockwise. So maybe try that as well. It's all about bringing back flow, more flowy, more fluid, and adapted, resilient. Thank you guys for being here, and I'll see you tomorrow. Have a great rest of your day. Bye, everyone.